And here's Mustafa Mine!
Mustafa! Hello and thank you. Welcome to the Mustafa Mon Show.
I love you, Mustafa Mine!
And I love you, random Gamma citizen. So today we have some special guests. Bernard Marks, Lenina Crown, and John the Savage.
Woohoo!
Here's their backstory. Recently, Bernard and Lenina went to the Savage Reservation in Malpai. They spent a few days there and met some very interesting people, including a former citizen of our society, Linda, and a very good-looking John. It turns out that John is Linda's son and was born naturally.
Ew!
So anyway, the worst part of it is I shouldn't say it, there are children in the room, is our very own director. So without any further ado, let's welcome our first guest, Bernard Marks. Let's bring him out here, shall we? Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Bernard. How are you?
I'm fine. Glad to be here.
Great. So I hear that you and Lenina recently went to the Savage Reservation. Must have been pretty interesting. Please share.
It was actually quite fascinating. Well, to me at least. I mean, Lenina could not believe that these people lived this way. I mean, the dirt, the rubbish, the dust, the dogs, and the flies. In my eyes, they've been living like this for 6,000 years, and they don't know how to live any other way. For them, this is routine.
Wow. Very interesting insight. So, in what ways is it different from our society?
Well, the people on the reservation had different types of relationships with each other. Oh, and what a wonderfully intimate relationship between mother and child.
Mother and child? Mother and child?
Oh my god, what the... Oh.
Why, yes. I mean, the mothers have an extremely close connection with their children. They care for them and they feed them when they're hungry and bathe them when they aren't clean. Oh, and they pick the lice out of their hair. Little creatures that feed on the scalps. It's rather sweet.
Inconceivable.
Yes, it's hard to believe, but it's true. Oh, and the rituals. The rituals were amazing. They involve snakes and whips, and they're done as a sacrifice for the land, the food, and God, whoever that is. I mean, I found them very enticing. Actually, I met John while watching a ritual. He claimed that he would have been a better contender for it. I found that a former citizen of our society, Linda, was his...
Shh! There are children present. On a different note, you brought the two back to our society, and I hear you're throwing a party later this week.
Yeah, I mean, we just want to introduce the Savage to everyone and get him settled and comfortable in our society.
That's great. It's nice to see someone who's so intrigued by the Savage.
Yes, it's definitely brought much more popularity to my reputation. I've been getting more attention since I returned with John. He's a very big hit.
He most certainly is. Thank you, Bernard, for coming on to our show today. It's been a pleasure having you. Now we will cut to a short commercial break. Please enjoy your complimentary eclairs.
Yay! Goody.
Are you going to stop?
Is your life dull and colorless? Do you find yourself sad on a regular basis?
I'm ugly. My boyfriend left me for another man.
I lost my favorite Pokemon card. Jigglypuff!
My eraser doesn't fit in my pencil pouch. You guys should try Soma!
Soma?
It's so yummy, yummy. It's so yummy, yummy. Hey.
Soma! friends at the reservation is a dirty and disease-filled place, and couldn't stand to stay there any longer. So let's bring her out. Come on in, Lenina. Welcome, Lenina.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So, as you know, we just spoke to Bernard, and we found out about his views of the reservation. What do you think about it?
In my opinion, this place was very queer and smelly, and I did not like it one bit. The savages were very hostile and uncivilized, and it made me very uncomfortable. I cannot tell you enough how much I wanted Soma to help me get through this awful experience, but I forgot it at the rest house.
Well, it seems as though you feel very strongly against the savages and their way of life. What can you tell me about the people and their actions while you were there?
Well, as I said before, they're very hostile and, well, savage. They were dirty and smelled really bad, and they ate animals. It's just so strange. They don't use Soma, and they get old and wrinkly, and it's disgusting.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
Well, the people were old. Oh, and they were wrinkly and saggy too.
Lenina, you just said that. Can you give me some more of your insight, like opinion?
Sure. Well, they feed their children naturally. It was awful. Bernard was a bit too enthusiastic throughout the entire trip. He kept comparing their society to ours, and he continuously asked me for my opinion. I hated Malpai, except I was fortunate enough to meet John. He's very handsome.
Oh yes, John sure is great.
Oh, yes, he is. I want him so badly, but he just won't. Ugh. It's rather frustrating. After all, everyone belongs to everybody else.
Very true, very true. Okay, thank you, Lenina, for coming onto our show today. Now, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Please welcome John the Savage. John, it's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, thank you.
So, John, I hear Lenina is quite fond of you. Is
Yes.
this true?
Yes, it's true. Lenina is very beautiful. But if I were to have her, I would like to prove myself like a real man.
Huh?
Like
What?
a real man? What do you mean?
Lenina is willing to give herself away to me, but I feel that I must work for her. And she's an impudent strumpet.
Shakespeare. Amazing. You read Shakespeare?
Why, yes, I do. His work is truly inspirational. I can't quite understand it, but his words seem to have a powerful meaning behind it, and I cannot fathom.
Ah, yes. His work certainly is beautiful, but I'm sure that no one in our society would understand what he's saying. History is bunk. So, John, what do you think of our society?
It's much different from what I'm used to. This society lacks morals and values. What happens to marriage, to love, to devoting a relationship with the person you love? What happens to natural birth and the bond between mother and child? How can your child be born out of test tubes? How can... It's sickening. This is not the way life should be.
What?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
What?
Your opinions are quite potent.
Yes, they are. I honestly think that your life could be much better if you used to live your lives as the way the people on the reservations do. And the Soma is awful.
Soma. Yes, a gram is better than a dam. We love our daily dose of Soma.
This is not how it should be. Soma is evil. Soma killed my mother. And Soma could potentially kill you all.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have today, John. You made some valid points, and I don't think the people in our society can fully understand. Thank you for coming on to our show.
It was my pleasure.
This has been the Mustafa Maan Show, and until next time, please enjoy free gram Soma on your way out. Selma.